Hello everyone, and welcome to the first ever episode of the Gen X podcast series. And in this episode today, we have with us Mr. Gurraj Urgi, who has recently got placed into TCS. And in this episode, he will be sharing his interview journey with TCS. So, hey guys, my name is Tanma, and you're watching Technisty. So, first of all, I would like to welcome Gurraj and thank you for coming on this episode today.
Thank you so much, Tanmay, for inviting me into this session.
या एंड सो अभी चालू करते हैं हम लोग अपने पहले क्वेश्चन के साथ। सो गुरुराज, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज दैट कि हाउ यू प्रिपेयर्ड योरसेल्फ फॉर द टीसीएस एनक्यूटी।
Uh, Talking about my preparation for TCS NQT, it started from the month of September because our NQT was scheduled in the month of October. So we first we have gone through the like what is the steps that NQT asks. Like first, NQT is divided into three parts. That is numerical ability, logical reasoning, and verbal. So we first I found out what are my weaknesses. So I found out that I am weak in the numerical ability part, and my strengths are logical reasoning and verbal ability. So what my approach was, I kept my strength, that is logical reasoning and verbal ability, as it is, and tried to improve on them also. At the same time, I found out from the numerical ability the topics which I can learn. So I learned those topics and I converted them into my strong points so that I can approach some questions from numerical ability also, which helped me to score at least 50% in the numerical ability. And as my verbal and logical was good enough, so it helped me to clear the MCQ. This
So
was my method of approach.
that was a really helpful answer, Gurraj, and I hope it will help every other participant to prepare themselves for the NQT. So thank you. So now let's move to the second question, Gurraj. सेकंड क्वेश्चन ये है कि हाउ वाज द ओवरऑल एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ द टीसीएस एनक्यूटी एग्जाम, मतलब कितना डिफिकल्ट था एंड कौन सा सेक्शन सबसे इजी लगा एंड कौन सा सेक्शन सबसे डिफिकल्ट था उसमें।
Okay, so talking about my experience for TCS NQT, uh, the difficulty level is subjective. That is, मतलब differs from person to person. अगर मैं मेरी पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस की बात करूँ तो आई एम बेसिकली लिटिल बिट वीक इन न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी, सो इट वाज ऑब्वियस कि न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी मेरे को थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट लगेगा. So numerical ability was little bit difficult for me, but whereas the other two sections, that are logical reasoning and verbal ability, I was comfortable with them. So I did not face any issue in those. Talking about the overall experience, then I will rate it in between simple to little bit moderate, or easy to moderate, in between.
ओके, सो ऐसा बोल सकते हैं कि लाइक द न्यूमेरिकल पार्ट इज द toughest part and the logical and the reasoning part is quite simple comparing to the numerical section, we can say like that.
Uh,
Yeah.
no, जनरल कंक्लूजन निकालना ठीक नहीं होगा, बिकॉज कुछ स्टूडेंट्स का ऐसा होता है कि उनको न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी बहुत इजीली सॉल्व हो जाता है. क्योंकि मेरा केस डिफरेंट था कि आई वाज लाइक लिटिल बिट इन द बैकवर्ड सेक्शन, बट कुछ स्टूडेंट्स को न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी इजी हो जाता है. तो ओवरऑल देखा जाए तो टीचर्स एक एनक्यूटी बहुत ही इजी होता है. इट डिपेंड्स कि आप कौन से सेक्शन को कैसे, मतलब हाउ मच गुड यू आर इन पर्टिकुलर सेक्शन. किसी किसी को वर्बल में प्रॉब्लम होगा, तो वर्बल दे विल फाइंड डिफिकल्ट, बट न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी और एलआर सॉल्व कर लेंगे. So it depends subject to subject, that is person to person. ओवरऑल एक्सपीरियंस इजी होता है, इजी से मॉडरेट के बीच में नहीं होता है. तो ऐसे डिफिकल्ट नहीं होना चाहिए. बेसिक एप्टीट्यूड एप्टीट्यूड से आपका क्लियर हो जाए.
Okay, so it all depends on the how well the person is prepared and what section he feels difficult. So everything is dependent on that, right?
यस, इसके लिए मैं बोलता हूँ कि फर्स्ट प्रिपरेशन स्टार्ट करने से पहले आप खुद का एनालिसिस करें, या आप लाइक यू आर गुड इन विच सेक्शन. जैसे मैंने एनालिसिस किया था, तो आई फाउंड माई सेल्फ गुड इन लॉजिकल रीजनिंग एंड वर्बल एबिलिटी. तो अभी मैं था वीक थोड़ा न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी है. न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी में भी अगर आपको करना है तो वी कैन कैटेगराइज वन परसेंट थ्री डिविजन. लाइक एक वन होता है कि जिनको न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी सॉल्व ही नहीं होता,
Yeah.
और they want to skip that section. Second होता है कि they want to try but uh, it is not possible for them. और थर्ड सेक्शन होता है कि कुछ भी हो जाए हमें ट्राई करना है और कुछ क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करने हैं.
Yeah, exactly.
तो I was finding myself in the third category. I thought कि I will try some topics which I found little bit easy and interesting so that I can attempt the questions from those also. ताकि ऐसा ना हो कि मैं पूरा ही न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी छोड़ दूँ. सो दैट न्यूमेरिकल एबिलिटी में जितना पॉसिबल मैं उतना मार्क्स ले लूँ. बाकी एलआर और वर्बल एबिलिटी को मैंने मेंटेन किया कि उसमें मेरे को कोई प्रॉब्लम ना हो और उसमें हर पॉसिबल क्वेश्चन में अटेम्प्ट कर सकूँ. तो ऐसे अपने आप का आप एनालिसिस करें एंड इट विल लीड टू अ बेटर रिजल्ट.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Thank you for the.
Analysis is the key point.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, that's what that was a really helpful answer from you. So basically, we have to focus on the strongest part, and we have to also work on the section which we are really facing some problems. So that is the main point here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So next question is that after getting selected into the NQT round, what are the further rounds in the interview process?
Okay. So after you qualify through the TCS entity, you will receive a mail from TCS that you are qualified for the interview round. And the next step is the interview round. The interview round consists of three panel members, that is PR, MR, and HR. That is, we call it a technical round, managerial round, and HR round. So all the three rounds they take simultaneously in one interview only. So we can combine them into one round only, and we can say that the second step is the interview round. And once you cross that interview round, then you will receive the offer letter for the. That is the second step, and it is final step for the recruitment process.
Okay, so in total, there are only two main rounds, which is the NQT and the final interview round.
Yes, there are only two main rounds. That is the thesis entity, and the second one is the interview.
Okay, okay. So next question is about the projects. So does your final year project only matters, or the projects which you have done previously in the course of your engineering, all the projects matter?
Okay, so talking about this question, it entirely depends on the panel members, those who are taking the interview. Because I have seen some experiences where some students, the panel members didn't ask about the project to some students or candidates. Still, they have gone through the interview process and got the offer letter. Talking about my personal experience, they asked me about my project. So I told them all the projects that I have done throughout my academic curriculum, that is from first year till the date of interview. Each and every project, let it be a mini project and or a small project also, which we mini project also. Our college has web project, so web project also. So they just ask what did you do in that project, or what was your framework, or what was your technology. But it is very rare that they go deep into that. They just ask a summary about the project. So it depends on the panel members. So if you are lucky, then they will not ask about our project. And if they ask, then just brief about it, give a brief in summary of your project. There is nothing to worry about it. If you have not done any project, then simply and honestly say that I have not done any project. We are in the process of doing a project. That is your final year major project. They will not. This will not affect your process. I think.
Okay, okay. So it depends on the interviewer whether he'll ask or not. It's totally on him.
Yeah, it depends on the panel members, and I also like to request all the viewers that be honest with the panel members. If you have not done any project, then don't try to bluff them. Just be honest and say that sorry, we haven't done any project yet, but we are doing a major project. We are proceeding towards it. Till now, we haven't done.
Okay.
The more you will be honest, the better it will be.
Yeah, really is. You need to be honest during the interview. Yeah, that's right. Completely right. So the next question is that is there any particular language preferred by TCS during their selection process? Because some say that Java is more preferred over Python in the TCS interview process?
No, actually, TCS doesn't have any language preference. It treats all the languages equally. Let it be C language or Java, Python, the Go language by Google, whatever language you have learned, TCS treats all of them equally. So it doesn't give any preference like Java has more preference, Python has low preference. They know such things in the selection process. Talking about my personal experience, I have opted Python as my primary language, and while giving the interview from our college, there were majority of the students who were going giving the interview via Java language. But I was stuck to my primary language, and I tried to what we can say like develop my basics on my Python, and I revised them and gave my interview or what and the coding test also in the Python zone. So be confident about the language you have chosen and have a good fundamental understanding of those languages, basic understanding, and you will sail through this teacher selection process. There is no problem.
Okay. Yeah. So the next question is that what are some of the questions that you were asked during the technical round?
Okay, so talking about the TCS interview, as I earlier mentioned, also there are three panel members. First is the technical round, where the technical head we we say that he is the technical head. Second is the managerial round, where the manager, team manager or team lead uh, takes this round, and the HR round. Obviously, the HR person will conduct this round. So, talking about my technical round experience, so what happens in technical round? Questions related to the programming language and database or software development are asked. So these are the topics which we learn, especially in our third year, like software engineering, database. So you can, yeah. So I think third year from there only the basic concepts they ask, like they ask me in which language you are comfortable with. So and the second question was follow up. Interview is something which you can drive on your own. The way you answer the previous question, the interviewer asks the next question based on that. So, like the second question was features of Python. Following that, they asked how the memory is managed in the Python. Then this is one of the most, I mean, interesting questions that technical round, in many technical rounds they ask. That is Python an interpreted language or a compiled language? And I would like to personally give advice on this that please don't directly say that it is an interpreted language. It is a like kind of interpreted and compiled language. To understand this, I would like to ask all the participants or aspirants that please watch the video on this and then answer it. Because if you directly say that it is interpreted, then the interviewer will get a what you say. He will understand that you have not understood the basics of that language. Similarly, like libraries used in Python, and in the database question, they ask what all database you have used and their normalization form and what are the software development life cycle, etc. These are the questions that they ask in the technical round.
Okay, so basically the questions related to your engineering subjects, then related to the database, and main questions related to the programming language you choose. These are some of the main questions that are asked in the technical round.
Yes, whatever you have learned, uh, currently talking about keeping in mind that you are a computer engineering student, then what all concepts you have learned, especially in your third year, because that is mainly related to the software development and database, etc., etc. So they will ask the basic concepts of those. So always keep in mind those basic concepts because that will only help you to sail throughout this.
Yeah, great. So the next question is that what are the questions that the HR had asked you in the HR round?
Okay, so in the HR round, it is very basic round that is. HR doesn't ask much question about you. He only asks the basic question like, is there any gap in your education? most of the students generally don't have. But if you have any gap, then mention it. Be honest and mention that gap in your education. And later on, is there any live backlog, or and are you willing to relocate? Generally, students, uh, especially the female candidates, when they are asked about relocation or night shift, they generally tend to say no. But I request you that say yes. TCS also knows that you are a fresher and they will not so easily they will put you in such a situation where you need to relocate or work in a night shift. They also understand the situation. They just ask that yes or no. Say yes, and they will not put you in such a situation. This is what I.
Okay, so basically the relocation question is just to check your mentality that you are willing to perform and you are willing to work in any kind of situations. But afterwards, they give you a choice of relocation, right?
Yes, yes, they will only check that whether you are ready or you are flexible enough to work in such an environment, dynamic environment. Because sometimes what happens is if there is a delay in a project that you are working or something, then you might require to stay in a night shift. But generally, what happens is for freshers, they don't. TCS HR policies uh, developed in such a way that they don't allow, or they most of the time they try to avoid night shift for the freshers. Whereas going at the senior level, you might need to work at night shift also, but at this freshers level, they will not allow, or they will avoid night shift and relocation.
Okay, okay, got it. Yeah. So one final question, Gurraj. What are the do's and don'ts one should follow during the TCS recruitment process?
Okay, the do's and don'ts one should follow during the recruitment process. First of all, we will cover the do's. Uh, One should try to analyze oneself and analyze the strong points and weak points, which I told earlier in also for the TCS NQT Pro NQT exam. This analysis will help you to strengthen your core points and also strengthen the points in which you are weak, so that your chances of qualifying in the NQT exam is more. And the second is be very clear with the fundamentals of your uh, subject, like the database management subject, software development subject, and the programming language in which you are familiar. So these are some subjects in which you should have your basic concept very clear, so that you can answer the questions based on those concepts in the interview. And sometimes what happens is especially in the managerial round, they provide you a situation. They pro- they ask you a question in such a way that you are in such a situation you have to choose either of the two or something. So always try to find a optimum solution, that is जो हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं कि बीच का रास्ता निकालना है. So in that same way, uh, always in a hurry, don't try to move towards either side. Just think for a while and try to get to an optimum solution, so that it will have a better what we say better image of you in the mind of the interviewer, because interviewer wants to test that how will you perform in such a pressurized situation. Like talking about my experience, I had a experience like in the HR round where she asked me like, tell me something about our organization. So I told her what all things what I researched. Then she told that these things are available on the Google. Tell me something which is not available. Then I told like I heard the experience from the senior, like work-life balance is good, job security is good. So then she immediately found out that I was sailing through this question. Then she interrupted me and asked me a counter question like, okay, then tell me something negative about the organization. So what happens in such a situation, like you are not prepared for this question. So whenever you come find yourself in such a situation, then first of all be calm, keep your mind calm, and then the answer what I provided for this question was like in a subtle way. Like I told her, ma'am, currently I'm not able to recall some of the negatives of the organization. So what immediate response the HR gave was like in a little bit higher tone, like he was trying to put me under more pressure. Then she told that it means that you have not done your research properly. Because whatever may be an organization, there are positive and negative. It means that you have not studied about organization properly. Then how can we trust you that you have done your homework? Then in such a situation, always be polite and uh, accept that whatever the HR is saying, accept it in a polite manner and then keep your point. Like what I said was, I completely agree with you, ma'am, that every organization has pros and cons because the coin has two sides. So it is not possible that an organization is entirely perfect or organization doesn't have any negative points because and such an ideal organization doesn't exist. Not everything is perfect. But what I have is I might have heard some negatives by some of my seniors or who are executives. But at this point, I'm not able to recall it. So that's it. So in this way, you can sail to this question in a following. Just try to avoid that myth because if you say something negative about the organization, then it gives an image to the HR that you will once be recruited, then uh, while you are working as a TCS employee, then in front of somebody also you will create a negative impression about our organization. So that's the reason. Completely avoid most of the times like answering in negative mode. Just find the optimum solution and sail through the interview process. This will help you to be at a safer side, gain more points so that your chances of getting selected is more. So such situations will occur. Be calm in those situations, and the more you keep your mind calm, the better solution you will be able to provide it, and you will crack this interview. And one important thing you should not do is don't bluff the interviewer panel. Like what we say, if you don't know anything and if you are trying to say something which is not related to that, so it makes them feel like it is you are wasting their time also because they have so many other candidates to be interviewed. So they have a hectic schedule. So respect their time also. If you don't know anything, then straight away tell that sorry ma'am or sorry sir, I don't have enough information on this topic. I will gather some information on it. So they will don't mind if you are being honest.
Okay, so that were some wonderful answers, Gurraj. And once again, I would like to thank you for giving your precious time and coming on this episode and giving some information about your experience during the thesis interview. So once again, I would like to thank you for being here.
Thank you so much, Tanmay, for giving me this opportunity. I feel myself lucky that I was able to help some of your viewers. I thank you so much for giving me this opportunity.
So guys, that's it for this video, and that's it for this episode. But we surely come up with some interesting episodes in future. So if you like this episode, do hit the like button and share this video with everyone who is going to appear for any type of interview, not only TCS, but this experience will help them to score in the interview and score in the test. Also, don't forget to subscribe the channel for more upcoming and interesting episodes of this new podcast series. So that's it for this video, and I will see you in the next video, the next episode. So thank you so much for joining.